Greetings and salutations. My name is Christina Williams. I'm also known as Anthony Valier, and I am a youth leader, historian, philosopher, poet, and spoken word artist and performer, self publisher. And I'm also an author. So these are my books: Pearls Among Stones, Black Gold, Out from Babylon System, Liberation of Mind. And I am from Jamaica, and I will be discussing the intersection of AI on art and creativity. These are my opinions as a writer and creative. Now, creativity is something that I personally think I was born with. I don't know if you can, you know, like you can practice, practice creativity. Maybe it's a question of nature versus nurture. Maybe it's a question of gifts and talents. I didn't necessarily get like formal training, when I was young. And I remember quite fondly at the age of 10, I started writing. I didn't really know of any writers, but that's when I just scribble on paper. And I think it's a thing that children do, get a piece of paper, you begin to draw, you begin to write, music. I mean, yeah. So I see creativity as something that is very much human. It's something from within. And I, for one, mostly write on, sometimes things come in my mind, I write. And maybe in the bus, I begin to write. I hear someone speaking, they say a word, or I'm listening to their conversation, eavesdropping, this kind of a thing. It could be a case of my personal experience, it could be a case of lived experience, could be a case of things that I see on the news, world news, whatever it may be, I can be inspired. And that's creativity. And that's human for me. Now, I don't think AI is all bad. I do believe there is some good to it, there's some pros, there's some cons. It's a new concept, and it's kind of taking over the world, and it's very complex, and there's a lot of things to unpack about AI, artificial intelligence. Now, the pros that I will see with AI is that many people want to express themselves and maybe always say, I wish I could sing. I wish I could draw. I wish I could write a poem like a Maya Angelou or, Claude McKay, whoever, they look up to. But they never really got the confidence to do so because they always say, oh, I'm not a writer. So with AI now, our chat GPT, it is a good way for, diversity. It is a way of inclusivity, allowing people to finally to express what they've always wanted to say or what always wanted to draw or paint. And that's where I see the intersection, where it opened the door to a variety of people. Now, a question will come up now: is now everyone a writer? Is now everyone a painter? Very interesting. I can't answer those questions. And so that is something that I see. Another aspect would be if you're already an artist, already a creative, and you are having, writers, we kind of have sometimes writer's block. For me, I don't necessarily have writer's block because I don't force writing. My strategy is that whenever it comes, it comes. No, I don't, everyone have different strategy, different styles. Some people say, I have to write 10 poems a day or 2 poems a day, or I have to write every day. My thing is, whenever it comes, it comes and it really pours like rain. So that's my strategy. So, but for some writers, when they have writer's block, I believe AI could, assist, because AI would analyze a large data on the internet and have new ideas, new way of presenting many topics, and it has a vast range of subjects that it is kind of humans. I won't limit us because they do say that we don't use majority of our brain. I think they say that we probably use 10%, so 90% is unused. But I mean, the AI would be doing most of the work. It will come with new ideas. It will help that artist to come with fresh new ideas, probably create albums, musical albums, poetry albums, whatever it may be. So there is some good aspect to it in that regard. In regards to the cons, well, there's a lot. And I'll just give an example. Normally when I write papers, for example, apart from writing poetry, you have to write academically. You do your research, and then you analyze that information and you put it together. Now, what if the chat GPT does that? My question is, what if a student who does the traditional way of coming up with his own ideas or his own way of writing, and that person gets 70 and another student uses chat GPT and they get 90, then my question is a matter of fairness. Like, one did the work, one came up with the ideas, one used AI intelligence. And so fairness is something that comes into question. Creativity also comes into question, because creativity is not just limited to just expression. It comes to critical thinking, and that is one of the hardest things. I would tell you, as a writer, to begin is very difficult. But the minute I begin, there's a flow. But to begin, it's always difficult. I will have ideas in my head, and it's the hardest thing to put on paper or put on the laptop. But the minute you begin, there's a flow. There is hope that the minute it starts, I can continue. So these questions come into play in terms of also ownership. Um, who would be credited based on this work? Would it be Chat GPT, or would it be the student? There's also the question of plagiarism. Um, you know, the ideas coming together, it is taken from internet and different data sources to become one. That's a concern, and that is a big topic in terms of for writers or creative individuals, in terms of plagiarism and copyright issues. We're still having issues with copyright. That is a concern. I also look at the human aspect, because I see AI as this robotic thing, while human, we have emotions. And when you read a work or you listen to music, I wonder if AI is able to imitate. And so one of my thing is, can AI imitate me? Because me, the poet, how I write, it is not just only coming from my brain, it's coming from my soul, it's coming from my DNA, it's coming from my culture. I'm very passionate about my work. I'm very passionate about what I want to express. And my language, for example, as a Jamaican, while I do speak the British English, I'm also drawn to my native language, which is Patois. And so I have poems in Patois. Can AI imitate that swag that I have? Because Patois, there's certain things that I can say in English, and there are certain things that I say in Patois that it just has a swag. It's my expression. There's when you speak, when it comes to your native language, it's natural. And that's how I see creativity. Creativity is something that is natural. And I don't see AI, as it says, artificial intelligence. It's fake. It's not the real McCoy. I'm the real McCoy. So it's very interesting. How would AI imitate emotions? Can AI, when I read something, when I read it, will I know it's from human, or is it, from AI? And I think about that. It's very interesting. And I would like to share a poem in terms of, say, don't copy and paste. And it's from my book, Pearls Among Stones. Do not copy and paste. Do not copy my rights, but be inspired by them. Let your fingers do the pasting of your mind's thought. It is beautiful to see a part of me everywhere I turn. Pages of poems, but is not my signature. Presumably, it would seem as a stolen property. So do not copy and paste unless it is your originality. I am a black lioness representing my nationality. In poetry, I display my loyalty. I stay focused and conscious, and I do not condone illegality. My writings are the manifestations of my spirituality, and out of Jah, the Almighty, my creativity is shown. My intentions are not just to be well known, but to inspire and fulfill my destiny that is prophesied by the sagas and prophets before I. Now, my last piece that I will share is Youth of Ambition. My youth, how you stay so? What kind of behavior this? Who you threatening about copper shot? What broke tear gas fees? You a behave like you a T-Rex. Wolfgang Dracula. Claim you a go for me juggler. But more man with syntax. Left you inspire, upful. Me not behave like Freddy versus Jason or Grim Reaper. What it pay when all of them dead? So my youth, take up your pants in your hand. Change up your ways. Start act better. Clean up your mind till you behave much your tire. Youth, stop cheat yourself. Rise up and go out and get some certification in a plumbing or construction. Go learn a skill. If I know that are your plan, then sell some fruits. Cherry, mango, guava, or some grown provision. Yam, cocoa, banana, or jelly water for the people instructor. Youth, elevate yourself. Elevate your mind. Don't confine, don't imprison. As some say we hopeless, worthless. This a generation of viper. Prove them wrong. We not take bad talk. Negativity we eliminate. From the electrons to the neurons. Positive energy we are emit from our cranium. My youth, take a leaf out about records. Running the race must have a plan. Be the best of you, your version. Conquer nation till they conquer planet. Till all the next generation will be a force to be reckoned with. Because you made a plan. You had ambition. Now, you is an inspiration. Give thanks.